Thank you so much, Mr. Hari. It's a pleasure to have you here, to see you in action. I think I've known you for more than a few years now. I think close to 6, 7 years since the first
Yeah,
time that we
close to
met.
a decade, I think, Ravi.
Probably, yes, yes. Mr. Hari has, I think, over 30 years of experience, and I think with Wipro alone, is like close to 2 decades. He's been vice president and global head of operations for Wipro, and he's the founding force behind Wipro Water. I think I would not be exaggerating if I've made the statement that he's played a key role in Wipro becoming the behemoth that it is today. And I think I would love to hear what Edhina Capital is. This is a new avatar, and would love to see what he's doing and what his plan and vision are for the sustainability space. Over to you, Mr. Hari.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be with all of you today, right? And Sus Mafia, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity that you've given me to share my views on sustainability. So let me do that, placing two arguments before all of you. One is sustainability has opened a large number of opportunities for startups and investors. Right? And it's only growing, the set of opportunities. One. Second, sustainability, I mentioned earlier, is about serious competitive edge, right? And hence presents long-term opportunities for both businesses as well as investors. And hence the promise of wealth creation, right? And so I will do that by talking about Edhina Capital, a sustainability-focused growth fund that we are building out. So I'll talk about the idea of Edhina Capital and what we are doing at Edhina Capital, and how we see technology-leveraged opportunities play out for businesses in our sectors of focus. And I'm talking of businesses with global market aspirations, not just India, right? Hence, establish our promise for serious wealth creation, right? For businesses and investors. After that, Ravi, you can sort of grill me further, right? And let me sort of take you to the first slide. What's our vision, right? Our vision is to create substantial wealth investing in businesses that create positive climate and societal outcomes, right? And businesses that use technology to solve problems at scale. I seriously believe that disruptive opportunities emerge at the intersection of three things. One is deep domain science, and the ability of that deep domain science to leverage ICT. When I say ICT, I mean not only just communication, I mean also data science, analytics, AI, and so on. So deep domain science, its ability to leverage ICT, and then the ability to apply the solution to a large-scale problem, or universalization, right? By that, I mean universal adoption. So at the intersection of deep domain science, ICT, and scale is where we see disruptive opportunity, right? So our idea and our aspiration is to build Edhina Capital into an institution for sustainability, right? And do that by investing in sustainability businesses in India and emerging markets, provide them catalytic growth capital, and support those businesses to grow, help them with opening markets, help them with best expertise, right? Global expertise. That is the thesis in idea in nutshell. And we've gone ahead and said, okay, if that's what we want to do, we would select sectors of our experience and understanding, right? And play by our strength. So the sectors that we have chosen is energy, transportation, built environment, and fourth is a theme, circularity or resource optimization. Water also comes in the circularity or resource optimization, idea, right? And as I mentioned earlier, invest at the growth stage of the business and help them with their growth strategy, connect them to our global network, get them best technology insight. So help them grow, and that should be resulting in wealth creation for our investors. Right. Let me go on and, talk of what are the technology leveraged business opportunities that we see, right? Now, before I do that, these are the 4 sectors that you see here in the slide. But before I get in there, let me try and basket, or break sustainability and climate action into 2 baskets, right? When we talk of tech, right? The first one I would call as new tech frontiers, right? In the sense, for example, let me pick up hydrogen. I would put that in the basket of new frontier tech, right? And the second one is those that are actually mature and in the phase of scaling and consolidating. If I were to talk of energy generation in the energy transition space, I would put wind, solar in that basket, right? So while frontier tech would need patient capital and the kind of risks are different, the ones that are maturing in the transition bit present very, very interesting opportunities, right? What I'm trying to do is, break this whole sustainability and climate action, peel it, and look at, opportunities also along the value chain, right? And so in these areas where businesses and sectors or subsectors, if you want to call it, that are maturing out and scaling, they present opportunities to apply technology for operational optimization, digitization. The ecosystem and the value chain itself provides opportunity for us to apply existing tech that has worked in other sectors. And these opportunities are very, very large. So in the entire sustainability and climate action space, there are different kinds of opportunities. It's up to startups, businesses, and investors to choose what is aligned to their DNA and make good investments. And for us, our investments we are looking at technology leverage, asset-light businesses, where the technology risk is ring-fenced. The product market fit is already there, and we would come in at the growth stage of investment, right? So let me get into each of these sectors and talk of what is the kind of, this is a slightly, crowded, busy slide. So let me sort of talk through this. Right? What is the kind of opportunity that we are seeing? Pick up energy for that matter. In energy, we see consolidation and scaling up of solar, wind, as well as storage in the transition process, right? These present optimization and digitalization opportunities. We see remaking of the energy system, or remaking of the grid as another large opportunity, right? Electrification of energy we see is another very large opportunity, right? And for example, if I'm going to talk of electrification, right? I must mention, there is this a recent article by McKinsey which estimates electrification of energy, right? Or electrification in industrial, transportation, and building as a 700 billion to 1,000 billion investment opportunity by 2025. Right? And so let me come to mobility, right? EV, while battery and manufacturing of electric vehicle are opportunities, but if you look at the value chain, as the adoption of EV would obviously increase many fold, look at the opportunity for electric vehicle to be connected. I look at it as two parts to that connection. Electric vehicles connected to humans, or vehicles connected to humans, and electric vehicles, I'm talking of electric vehicles when I say vehicles, and electric vehicles connected to energy system, right? Now, when you imagine a network of connected vehicles, both to energy system as well as humans, that opens up amazing set of business opportunities that are also related to a distributed energy system, as well as efficiency, consumer facing, consumer convenience opportunities, right? Let's move to the built environment, right? Digitalization for infrastructure creation. When I say built environment, it just doesn't mean only commercial built spaces. It also applies to airports. It could be large energy infrastructure. It could even be cities, right? Digitalization and to be able to build using digitalization, digital twin for construction, and to be able to do more with less, faster, and for longer useful life is the opportunity. All of this would reduce extraction, right? And again, in this space, I see electrification as a very large opportunity, right? So when you look at electrification and building, when you look at electrification in industry and electrification of transportation, one thing must strike you right away. One of the largest consumers of electricity is motors. Motors consume as much as 40%, right? And that'll only move up because you are electrifying more and more sectors. So energy is transitioning to, to being more electrified, right? And the kind of opportunities that this would throw up, both in connected systems, improving efficiency, newer technology, is something that we are deeply looking at, right? So now, let me move on and say, okay, if these are the kind of opportunities that we are betting on, do we see businesses and investable opportunities, right? We're talking of what we think are possible technology play along these sectors. And if that's what we see, next question is that are there enough? And what we see is hugely encouraging. In the sectors of our own choice, we see more than 13 billion of investment having happened between 2016 and 22. And that investment is only increasing, right? You see that in 21 and 22, it's been about 4.5 billion. So let me not get into the details of this. And very interestingly, that this is maturing up. We see rise in Series B and C investments, right? Right. This has come from deep research of large number of companies, businesses relevant to our sector. So we see opportunities, we see exit opportunities improving too, exits improving. So there is a tech play, there are enough number of players, and they're increasing number of players, right? And what's the macro? Globally, we are moving into a world that's moving towards sustainability, right? You have 90% of the global economy committed to net zero, right? The companies with almost 14 trillion targeting net zero. 79% of the consumers want net zero. This is the global picture. And let's come to India. Today we are at, let me pick up mobility. We are at 22 cars per 1,000 people. And one estimate says that it would go 5x by 2040. And while it would grow 5x by 2040, I'm sure we all believe penetration of electric vehicle as percentage is going to be much larger, right? And renewable penetration. So, without getting into details of each of these numbers, it's obvious that we see significant tailwind in India. And I must tell you this, that what's been most reassuring is the pipeline companies that we are seeing, right? It's incredible set of founders. We have some of them here and entrepreneurs. And in my view, that's the hope for sustainability. And this is the founding team. I just have the founding team put up here. It's Anita, George, and Harsh, who are other two founding partners of Edhina Capital. And Priyanshu is a member of the founding team. This is the founding team that started building out Edhina for the last year or so. And what's our promise to investee companies? We will journey with you in your journey. We will put everything behind your success. We will help with global market access as much as we can, use our global network for that. We will get some of the finest global experts to help you, and your own ability to find best global solution. So that's our promise to investee companies. I am actually done. And so over to you, Ravi. Whatever questions you have, let me stop sharing screen.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Hari. That was precise and crisp. And I think that shows, I think the focus and the stats that you have shown, I think are pretty clear indicators and a good positive sign for some of the founders that are here. I think we are all gladdened that there is an increase in Series B and C investments, increasing commitments. That means that there is maturity in technologies, maturity in companies, startups which are working in the climate space. And there is an investment urge to back those companies and see them grow. I think that's a positive sign for all of us. Just on that note, what should, I just wanted to ask you, what should, there are a lot of early stage companies as well here. What should these companies really look for to be able to, get that kind of, get to that stage of, B and C where they're, attracting more and more funds, growing and, maturing into better technologies?
Right. Oh, that's a very interesting question. As a matter of fact, that's something that I wanted to spend some time in this discussion process, right? Let me step back and mention one thing. What's giving me and giving all of us as a team huge energy is, the founders, the businesses that we are meeting. It's so infectious because of the kind of work that they are doing, the quality of work, right? That's why I'm saying, in my view, for India, I think it's India's millennium in many, many ways. And when I'm talking of sustainability and climate action, right? And look at what you can do with the scale and the power of innovation that we all have. Right? Now, that, and we did see some of these amazing businesses, which might not have matured out to, what we say is when we were going to come in. Right? So we're also working with, a structured arrangement with few partners, not too many, about 4 of them is what we are now in the process of building. 2, I think, is in a reasonably mature stage. We will firm that up. These are the ones who will come very early stage or early stage in investment. We're also tying up and partnering with 3 or 4 incubators, right? And we are in the process of formalizing it. So the idea is that when we see good technology opportunities and great founders who want to build it out, we will come in early. We will come in early, may not be from our fund alone, a very structured arrangement of supporting these businesses. We will get into the details. So the ones who are building great businesses, who are maybe slightly earlier than our cycle of investment, can happily reach out to us. Right. And the idea is, that's why I said, our idea is that we'll journey with you. Right. If you're a little early to our investment thesis, we'll figure something out. Right. It's about, do we together bring that zeal to build a global business? That's the start point, right? And if that is the start point, I suppose, there are ways to figure that out. Right?
Nice. So I would not be wrong in saying that, say, some of the early stage companies that are here who have a great, let's say, product or a solution or technology with them can reach out to you even if they are in an early stage, and they can
do that. Please
Lovely.
do that.
Lovely.
That's my humble request. Please do that.
So
And
can I?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
go ahead.
please.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, just to complete that, I think can we see Sus Mafia being a feeding engine for you in terms of the kind of startups that you would want to invest in the future?
Oh, absolutely. Why not?
Lovely. Great. Sorry, you were saying something.
No, see, what I think is important, and what I'm trying to state here is that the initial conversation, right, and the idea of building, of course, I would like them to be aware that we are sector focused, right? We've talked of the sector that we would be there. We may not want to, we would not like to spread too thin, because it's important that we bring depth to where we invest, because our promise is that we will help you build the business. And we are deeply aware that if we spread too thin, the depth that we will be able to bring and the support that we will be able to bring to our investee company will be diluted, right? The sectors are of importance to us, but if you are a little early, don't hesitate. Please do reach out and let's begin that conversation, right? And let's see how we can make things work.
Lovely. So if you can throw a little bit of light on when you say support, what kind of support are we talking about really? I mean, if you can give us some more information on that, will be great.
Okay. So let me step back and, when we talked of, we have the opportunities, we see, before that, we see certain technology and technology leveraged business opportunities play out in the sector. And we said, okay, we also see investable opportunities. And when we talked of that, we also mentioned, I did mention saying that, look here, we will play by our strength. And the sectors that we have chosen are the sectors that we have been in for decades. Hence, fortunately, we have a decent global connect, both in terms of ability to leverage that connect for opening markets, getting some of the finest minds, both in technology and business, for the relevant sectors. And, so how do you sort of narrow down to a specific investee company and bring the best global connect, both in terms of ability to open markets and the expertise in technology and understanding of the market, business build, is what we will bring. That's the reason we are so focused, in the sense, it's important to stay focused to be able to really bring depth to what we call support. So it's not a superficial, just a strat discussion, and it ends with that. And, so it's deeper involvement in the process of build out of the business with investing companies.
Lovely. That is about the individual, entrepreneurs and founders here. How can Sus Mafia as an organization, which is looking to, multiply the impact of these founders, can benefit from Edhina or you? Okay.
So Ravi, when I did mention that we're building an ecosystem for, identifying and working with emerging new businesses, right? In the sense, and that's why I talked of, connecting with incubators, early stage investors, and so on. And also I mentioned about some of the tech opportunities that we are seeing, right? So we will over-invest in certain spaces. It may not be too many, select spaces working through the value chain of emerging opportunities, right? So it could be, for example, let me pick that up and talk in a little more, slightly more detail. Say in electrification of mobility and shared mobility is an important space. If we are picking up an area or two that we will over-invest to identify opportunities quite early. We may not bring capital, but those are the areas I suppose we can look at in case some of them are of interest to such markets. There has to be convergence of interest, and it may not be across the breadth, but select areas, focused intervention, and there could be a possibility to join hands. We can talk in more detail when we meet.
Fantastic. Sharmila, do you want to open the floor for questions?
Yes. So thank you so much, Ravi and Sir, for the insightful talk. But I think it would be more fair if I open up the conversation to all the people present here, because I'm sure they have a lot of questions for you. I'm also going to stop the recording right now, so people can feel free to ask questions.
Thank you.